everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kenzie, this is KGrin, and I had my Christmas tree up already because I was just feeling in the spirit and I thought, you know what, let's film a video in front of the Christmas tree. And so that is why this lighting is a little funny. I say that in every video. I'm still trying to get the hang of the lighting, you guys. I promise. I'm researching, I'm trying my best. But anyways, so this is gonna hopefully get you in the holiday spirit. Even though this video has nothing to do with the holidays, it has everything to do with getting a job. And I want you new grad nurses to get a job, and so I promised you a portfolio video, and this is your portfolio video. So, basically, this is my portfolio. I apologize, I'm gonna cover up wherever my full name shows, but boom, that's the front cover. So this is what I was talking about in that video when I said get one of those see-through booklet things. Basically this booklet, I wonder if I have a blank one anywhere. Let's see, I have a blank one, perfect. These little, what are they called? Letter report covers. So yeah, I got it from Target. It's just this little booklet thing. And you slide your paperwork in here and it clips together and that's your portfolio. So these are what I bring into when I go for interviews. So when I went in for my new grad interviews, I brought one for each person that was interviewing me. So if you have a big panel interview, I highly recommend bringing in like 7, 8 of these. It's gonna be a little expensive because you're making a lot of them, but you can make them pretty cheap too. Mine were a little more expensive because I used expensive paper. It was like a thicker paper. And so I tried to make it as fancy as I could, but you can make it on just regular, normal printer paper. I used a little thicker paper because I was trying to be special. But if you don't have that kind of money, which a lot of us don't coming out of school, just use regular printer paper. But basically, on the front, I have a picture of myself with my graduation cap and my honor cords and everything like that. I was trying to be impressive, you know, gotta show the honor cords. And then at the bottom, I have all my ACLS, PALS, and BLS certifications, just so they have a very quick glimpse of what I'm certified with at the very start. They have my name, they have my face, and they have what I'm certified with. That already gives them a good picture of who you are and what you got going on. Then on the inside, I'm not going to show you guys this because it's my personal resume and it has a lot of personal information on it, but I'm just going to walk you through it. Basically, the front page, I have, well, first off, I have tabs in here so they can get to everything very quickly. So the front part, the very first tab says resume and cover letter. So resume, cover letter, then the next tab is certifications, then the third tab is letters of recommendation, and the final tab is supplemental. So basically just extra stuff that they can look at, anything else that I have in there. So yeah. So I have the tabs on the side there so they can get to the things much quicker. So the very first tab, like I said, is my resume. At the very top, it has my name right at the top, big and bold so they can see it. It has all my contact information. I also put my LinkedIn profile on there too so they can see where I've worked and who I'm connected with. And it's also good just to have a LinkedIn anyways so HR can reach out to you from other companies. And then it goes on to my education and the honor societies I'm a part of. So where I went to nursing school, the Sigma Theta Tau International, when I got inducted into that association and honor society, and then where I got my associate's degree as well. Then what they wanted was my clinical experience, and so I have a big chart. It's just a big box chart, table chart, one you can make on Word doc. And it starts with my senior preceptorship because they want to know where you were, because that's the most important, because that's where you're doing all the, you know, basically nursing stuff. Like you're basically a full nurse during your senior preceptorship. So that is the first thing I put on there, which I was in the trauma ICU at this hospital. And it asks how many hours. It was 225 hours. It's a lot of hours. And then it goes from each semester. So I go from my third semester to my second semester to my first semester. So all those clinicals, and I basically just describe them. It says like, what was the experience? So either my senior preceptorship, a clinical rotation, and then what was the clinical rotation? Was it pediatrics, mental health? Was it public health? or was it medical surgical, what floors was I on and at what hospital, and then again, how many hours and from what date to what date was I there. So from January to, you know, April or something like that. So basically that's how my resume is broken down. And then on the second side of my resume is my license. So when I was gonna pass the NCLEX, because obviously when you're a new grad, you don't know when you're gonna pass the NCLEX, but I put my exam date on there. So when I was expected to pass, which was June 2018. So that's what I put on there, expected to pass the NCLEX June 2018. If you happen to have your license already, then obviously put your license down there. That's awesome, good for you. But a lot of new grads starting out, they probably are submitting applications before they even take the test. So just put when you're expected to pass it, you know? Don't say, you know, pending. I would say I'm expected to pass it this month, you know? Doesn't have to be an exact date. Like I said, mine just says June. Then after that, I have all the certifications and training that I did. So my BLS, ACLS, PALS. I also did the NIH stroke scale, which fun fact, it's free for the first 2 times you do it, I believe. So why not add that on there? You never know where you're gonna be. You could definitely use the stroke scale anywhere in your nursing degree, so, or nursing job. Oh my God, why can't I think? Wherever you go in nursing, you're gonna be able to use the stroke scale. So I would get that. And then I also got a chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defense certification. That one was special. That one was just an opportunity I had in nursing school, so of course I'm gonna take it. It sounded incredibly cool, and it was a 2-day course. It was actually really fun, and now I have all these booklets about all these chemical and biological like cases and how you would treat them and stuff. So really cool course, but I mean, sometimes you don't have that, so it's fine. It was a very weird one. And then I had medical Spanish for hospital nurses. That was an online degree, or an online certification I got. And then I also put down that I was trained in EPIC and Cerner, which are 2 of the main EMR programs or electronic health records in my area. So I put down that I was trained in both because I didn't know where I was going to be working, and I didn't know what system I was going to be working on. So it was nice to know, or nice to tell my employers that whichever one they have, I'm trained in it. So that'll make training easier for them, for me. And then after that, I have healthcare experiences in organizations. So this is not my clinical rotation. This is other healthcare opportunities that I had. So I was in the neurosurgical ICU, and I was an extern, a nurse extern or hospital assistant, and I had 340 hours of that. So I put that on there, and I explained in 1 sentence what I did. When you're doing your resume, you want to limit the amount of verbiage and words that are on your resume, because they just want a really brief glimpse of what you were doing. So basically mine just said, provided direct patient care activities appropriate to training and competency for patients with direct supervision of RN. I took that exactly out of my contract. So whatever I signed, I took exactly what my job was and I put it in there in 1 sentence. So that was what was written on my contract, so that's what I did. So I put that in there, and it's just 1 sentence, real quick, gets to the point. I also was a cancer center ambassador, so I volunteered at the cancer center, and I explained what I did there in 1 sentence. And I was also a student nurse volunteer at this health fair for the Hispanic population. So I wrote down that and what date, and I also got a certification from doing that. And then I've also joined the American Association of Critical Care Nurses and the American Nursing Association. So you can join associations even when you're new grads, or even when you're not even a new nurse, when you don't have your certification or your license. You can still join associations. You just say that you're a student, and you'll actually get an even cheaper discount. So that's what I did. I just said I was a student and I got the student discount. And then just under all that, I did my additional experience, which is basically what I would put on any resume, which is like I was a server at Chili's restaurant and I explained how that related to nursing. So basically, you know, teamwork and not patient satisfaction, but customer satisfaction, like, you know, it's kind of the same thing, but I put that on there because it can relate to patients. And I was also the secretary of the California Nursing Student Association, and I was also a legislative committee member for my state legislative board. So I did a lot, but I think it's important to get as much experience as you can and put down everything you ever did that was nursing related in your resume or in your portfolio, because they really want to know what you're doing to become a better nurse, you know? And even if that's just taking courses, extra courses online. I also put in pictures of my ACLS, PALS, and BLS certifications, just so they have proof that I actually did get those completed. And then all those other certifications that I mentioned, like the chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear warfare thing. Well, not warfare, but basically. I put that certification in there. I put down my Spanish for nurses certification in there. So any certification that you got, throw it in there. I also have a lot of certifications just from school. They made us get a lot of things during my nursing school. So like, well, I have my Honor Society certification in there. We also have like basic infectious disease concepts and epidemiology, like just random certifications that we got in school from courses we had to take for our public health and community health rotations. So just print those out and throw them in there. Seriously, if you have certifications just from random courses you took in nursing school, throw them in there. They want to see that. I have orientation to public health, evaluating a public health program. Like I have a bunch of public health stuff in here because my school made us do that. So I printed all those out. Third tab. And it is my letters of recommendation. So I had gotten as many letters of recommendation that I possibly could, and I think that's very important to reach out to as many people as you can, but make sure that they know you, they know who you are as a nurse, and they can actually speak true to your character, and it won't be just some generic letter of recommendation, because you don't want that. You don't want some basic letter of recommendation that someone copied and pasted a name into. So I reached out to like my clinical professors, my preceptors, and my professors that were part of my public health rotation, because it was more one-on-one than most other situations. So I got about 4 letters of recommendation, and I think that's plenty, but obviously if you can get more, get more. It doesn't hurt to, you know, have a lot of people vouching for you and telling you how awesome you are. I also threw in my senior project, which was improving sleep quality of critical care patients, and it's just like the poster printout. So this was our poster presentation, and I threw that in there because it was our senior project and it was for quality improvement. A lot of hospitals do quality improvement projects, so throw that in there. Also good to show that you worked on a good project. And then I also threw in the supplemental section, I threw in the responses from my group projects from the other members of the group. So what they thought of my work in the group project, how I did I act as a leader? Was I, you know, just sitting back and doing nothing? Obviously, if you're just sitting back and doing nothing, don't throw that in there. They don't want to see that. But, you know, if you have good reviews from your group members, that shows you're a team player and you take, you know, initiative in group projects, which is, again, something great for your future employers to see. Throw that in there if you have something like that. And throw in your group project. Like I threw in my poster presentation. You can just shrink it down and put it on there. They don't have to completely see it, just as long as it's kind of like a little snapshot of what you've done. And then I also just made a list of all the things that I've done in my career that are nursing related. So I threw in everything from high school up until my undergraduate. So I threw in that I was on the soccer team in high school and that I was captain of my soccer team. I also threw in that I was captain of the dance team. Shows, you know, I can take initiative and be a leader. And I threw in all the different societies in National Honor Society that I was a part of in high school. I threw in what I did in junior college and what events I volunteered for in junior college, and same with undergraduates. So anything you can list that just shows you're a go-getter, that you tried to do things and be a part of your colleges, I think that's really great because it shows that you want to be a part of an organization and that you do participate. And then lastly, I threw in a resolution that I was a part of and helped write for the National Student Nursing Association House of Delegates, and it was in support of increasing awareness of suicide incidents and prevention strategies for children and adolescents. And it's just this long resolution, 2 pages. and we presented it actually at the CNSA convention, and I put that in there too, that we presented and that it was passed. So that's basically what I threw in my portfolio. Sorry I was talking really fast, but I mean, that's basically all the points you need. It's just throw in everything you can possibly think of. And there are a lot of examples online that you can look at. There's the New Grad Facebook groups for even like any state you're in. I was in the California New Grad state group, but you can be in, you know, Nevada, Utah, New York, whatever. I'm pretty sure they all have like a New Grad Facebook group, and a lot of people share their portfolios and write down and give advice on what you should put in yours. And that's basically how I came up with mine, was all the feedback from other nurses and people who got jobs. And yeah, so I hope this portfolio breakdown was good for you. I am sorry that I couldn't show you a lot of the stuff in there. I just have, you know, my full name in there and a lot of personal information, so I'm trying to limit as much stuff as I can, you know. Love you guys, but I don't want you to have my entire life documented. But if you have any questions on what to put in your portfolio, or if you think it should go in or shouldn't go in, comment down below and I'll get back to you and I'll let you know, my thoughts on what you should put in there and what you shouldn't. But that was my portfolio. I got a job. I think it does help. I think it just shows, you know who you are. It's a more personal look into you, because just answering interview questions doesn't really become too personal. Try to make it personal, but if you can't, at least they have a better glimpse of you and they have a whole booklet of information about you. And they can put that on top and it has your name and your picture so they can't forget you. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you have any questions, comment down below. And remember to be kind to everyone, because you never know what they're going through. And I hope you have a wonderful day or night, whichever it is. And I will see you guys in my next video. And I hope you enjoyed a little glimpse of Christmas. Anyways, bye guys.